and welcome to this Warhammer 40k Let's Build an Ork Army video with me, Mark, from the Xenovids channel. So, as I have stated, going to be doing an Ork Army. At the moment, I am currently building a truck. I've done 3 bikers, and I've got an Ork Warboss on the way. So, there's your little sneak peek before the reveal and painting tutorial videos that's going to come up. So in this video I'm going to talk about the HQ section of the Orks Codex. Now the Codex came out about a year ago. I've done a very detailed review on this. I'll put a link in the description below so you can check that out for the full review, as this video is going to talk about just the Ork HQs, and I'm going to talk about a little bit about how I feel the Orks are in terms of the gaming scene, whether they're competitive, fun, if they're an army that needs a lot of planning before, or whether you can just wing it on the day and have fun. So I'm going to open the Codex up now and go all the way to the back of the book, well, middle back. So it goes to the HQ section. Now the Orks themselves are generally low armor save, high toughness, high weapon skill, a good number of attacks, low ballistic skill, cheap model units. You get a lot for your points, it would seem. So it favours an army of swarming, so having lots of boys, or you having just lots of things on the field to kind of swarm your opponents. And you need a good HQ to lead that, or a couple of HQs. Or, as I'm going to be doing in my list, 4 HQs. But let's take a look at them. The first entry is a Warboss. The Warboss is 60 points. Now the Warboss gives you weapon skill 5, ballistic skill 2, strength, toughness 5, 3 wounds, initiative 4, 4 attacks, leadership 9, a 6-up save. So automatically it shows that it is kind of tailored more towards close combat. Comes with a slugger, a chopper and stick bombs, so nothing too fancy in its war gear. Special rules are Here We Go, Furious Charge, Independent Character and Mob Rule. It has the special rule of Warg, or as most people will do, Warg! Once per game, at the start of any of your turns after the first turn, a model with this special rule can, if he is your warlord, call a Warg. On the turn he does, all friendly units made up entirely of models with the Here We Go special rule, which is Orks, may charge in the assault phase, even if they made a run move in the same turn. So you can move 6 inches, run a d6, and then charge your 2d6, which is amazing. The options are, you can take heavy armor for 4 points, you may replace a slugger and chopper with mega armor, twin link shooter and power claw for 40 points, and may take items from the ranged weapons, melee weapons, runts and squigs, orky know-whats, and or gifts of Gork and more lists, which there are lots of things to do. The Warboss generally, how I've seen it, is kind of geared towards 2 different ways and in most competitive builds. So you either go for the mega armor build, where it has a twin link shooter and power claw, which is a 40-point upgrade, meaning the Warboss will become 100 points, which is still quite cheap in the 40k universe. And what you get there is a 2-up armor save. You gain slow and purposeful, but what normally happens is it gets put in a unit of Ork thingy-mabobbies with mega armor. Mega Knobs, which is a unit in the elite section. It's 120 points for 3 of them, and they all have a 2-up armor save. And you whack them in either a truck or the big one. I'm so good at this game. I know all the models already. Don't even have to look at the codex. No. Battle wagon. So put them in with mega armor with some mega knobs in a battle wagon, which has a front armor of 14, side 12, rear 10, which is still pretty good. You just throw it up and your opponent has to deal with them. And with 2-up armor saves and some armor and things, they have to shoot at it, which means your hordes of boys can kind of follow up and do their thing. Another way of taking the Warboss is taking it on a warbike and having him lead a unit of warbikers, or leading a unit of knobs on warbikes. Now if I just go to the section with it in, a warbike is 25 points. So for 85 points you get him on the bike, and then generally you will give him a power claw. Power claw, it gives you a melee weapon which is double your strength, AP2, but I do believe it is unwieldy. So then it would be a strength 10, because his strength is normally 5. Well, 4 strength 10 attacks AP2. If you charge, it becomes 5, which is brilliant. So the chance to take down even land raiders and monoliths and all those high armored things. And you stick him in a unit of bikes or knobs to soak up the wounds and just go up the field and kill things. So they're the two competitive builds that I usually see. A few other builders giving it heavy armour with a group of boys and having them go up the field with Painboys, or you just put him in a unit of knobs in a truck and then you just go up and then use him as extra attacks to take down more and more of your opponent. So for myself, the Warboss, I see him as kind of a standout character in the HQ section. He's going to be extremely useful in your army, and in fact I'm going to take 2. So the first one I'm going to have in a unit of 30 boys. Now in that unit of 30 boys is going to have a Painboy. So there'll be 30 boys, Painboy and a Warboss with no upgrades except for a Power Claw. And that unit will be used to either hold an objective, to help counter a Space Marine drop pod army, because they will come in first turn and then you can just go up, charge the Dreadnought or Space Marines that are coming out and have your Warboss do the damage. Painboy gives them feel no pain, which is brilliant. That's just a big unit of wounds that is going to take a while to get to your Warboss. Now that's going to be at the back of the army again to take objectives or help any countering attack or deep striking or anything that your opponent may have to come against you. Now I'm finding with the Ork Army it's brilliant for taking objectives. There's so many models, they are kind of fast, which means you can swarm your opponent getting the objectives. Now Warhammer 40k is mostly an objective game, you must remember that. It is an objective game except for kill points. So this is ideal for kill points if you're against a Space Marine army or someone who wants to do drop pods or dreadnoughts coming in, deep striking Terminators and stuff like that. So that is one Warboss, how I'll use him. The second one will be in the Warbike. I'll give him an upgrade of a Power Claw and a Warbike. Still keep him in quite cheap, and I do believe he'll still be around 100 points. And putting him in a unit of 10 Ork Knobs on Warbikes. Most of them are going to have Power Claws, and then I'm going to have a Painboy in there on a Warbike. So that means I'm going to have a Warboss who becomes toughness 6 because he's on a Warbike, having 4 attacks, normally 5 on the charge, strength 10 AP2 weapon, with a load of knobs on bikes who are 2 wound models and going to be, because they're on bikes, they're going to be toughness 5, armor save of a 4 up, jinx save I think is a 3 up on a Warbike, and they'll have feel no pain. Now this is kind of a Death Star unit, and this will be used to distract my opponent so they have to shoot at them, or have them just run forward and be like, right, I've got Power Claws, I've got loads of attacks, I'm going to take down that Terminator unit, I'm going to take down that vehicle, and I'm still going to survive. And while my opponent has to essentially deal with this hammer that's going to strike down the middle of my opponent's army, the rest of my army can claim objectives or do things. Now playing Orks, from just looking at the Warboss thing and having 2 of them in these 2 different roles, actually means they have a lot of tactics to them and a lot of versatility, which is brilliant. And I love the Warboss. So next is the Weirdboy. 45 points. You get weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 2, strength toughness 4, 2 wounds, initiative 3, attacks 3, leadership 7, 6 up save. He has a Weirdboy staff. Here we go, furious charge, independent character, mob rule, psycho mastery level 1. He has the Wag energy, and a Weirdboy generates a bonus of +1 warp charge point if at the start of your psychic phase there are 10 or more models with the Here We Go special rule within 12 inches of him. Generally there will be. If the Weirdboy generates a bonus warp charge point in the manner, he must pass at least 1 psychic test during that phase or suffer a strength 2 hit at the end of the psychic phase with no saves allowed. This special rule does not apply if the Weirdboy is embarked inside a transport or a building. He knows the power of the Wag and demonology disciplines, and may upgrade to a Psycho Mastery level 2, 25 points for that. Orks are random and fun. The psychic powers are also random and fun. However, I never see a Weirdboy being used unless it's a narrative campaign or just a fun, kind of like a fun army list. Competitively though, I don't really see Weirdboys fitting into a competitive list. Even if you've got the 45 points to spare, and even if you want that psychic defense, because this is the only way you're going to get that psychic defense. So if you do play an army like Grey Knights, or Demons, or Tyranids, or Eldar, take a Weirdboy if you want the defense, but nothing else. Against armies like Necrons and Tau and stuff, you won't have to worry about it. Or if you do take a Weirdboy, you're going to have the psychic advantage, but again, the powers are just a bit random. Next is a Mek. I love this model, it looks cool. 15 points, gets you weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 2, strength 3, toughness 4, 1 wound, initiative 2, 2 attacks, leadership 7, 6 up save. Slugger, chopper, mech tools and stick bombs is the war gear, and Here We Go, furious charge and mob rule is the special rule. He has mechanics, which means for each HQ choice in a detachment, not including other mechs, you may include a single mech chosen from this data sheet. These sections do not use up force organisation slots. Before the battle, immediately after determining warlord traits, any mech that is not already part of another unit must, if possible, be assigned to any unit with the infantry or artillery special rule in the detachment. A mech cannot leave his unit and is treated as part of it for the entire battle. So you got 15 points, you can just get a mech for it. You can replace his chopper with a kill saw, maybe accompanied by a grot oiler, and can have mech weapons. I see a mech kind of, if you've got your artillery pieces at the back, you've got to spare 15 points. He's there, he can help them out a little bit, and he gives you an extra model. I prefer the one on the next page, which is the big mech. 35 points gets you the same stats, almost. Not at all. Weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 2, strength toughness 4, 2 wounds, initiative 3, attacks 3, leadership 8, 6 up save. Slugger, chopper, mech tool, stick bombs. Here We Go, furious charge, independent character and mob rule. Lots of options for him. He may take heavy armour for 4 points. You may replace his slugger with either a custom force field or a shock attack gun, both for 50 points. A big mech may replace his chopper with a kill sword for 30 points. He may take items from the mech weapons, melee weapons, runts, squigs, or you-know-whats, and gifts of Mork and Gork. He may replace his slugger and chopper with mega armor, custom mega blaster, and power claw. A big mech with mega armor may take items from the ranged weapons, runts and squigs, or you-know-whats, and gifts of Mork and Gork. A big mech with mega armor can replace his custom mega blaster with a kill saw. And a big mech in mega armor can take a teleport blaster or a custom force field for 25 and 50 points. How I would like to see him and how I will use him, because I'm going to get a big mech and have him as part of my unit, which has now made me realise I've changed my list and I'm going to have 5 HQs. Yeah, 5, not 4. So an Ork Warboss on a bike, a normal Ork Warboss, a big mech with a shock attack gun, and I'm also going to put him on a bike. So that'll give him toughness 5 and a 4 up save. Why would I put him on a bike with a shock attack gun? There is no model for it, so I'm going to have to convert it slightly. The shock attack gun just looks really fun. like really, really fun. The shock attack guns is 60-inch range, 2d6 strength, you have to roll, AP2, Ordnance 1 large blast. So there's a potential of having a strength 2 or even a strength 10 AP2 Ordnance large blast. Now there are rules if you roll doubles, most of them are detrimental, but it's fun. So having him on a bike will mean he's manoeuvrable, so he can go in behind things, get into cover and shoot from there. And with 60-inch range, it's huge. That's a huge thing. And it's an AP2, potentially high strength weapon. The average on 2 dice is a 7. And it's just fun. He's got 2 wounds. Why not? I saw Codex Dan on Mini Wargaming using it, and it looked a lot of fun. And so I wanted to give it a go. So what I'm going to do is buy the big mech and chop him in half and have him stuck on one of the bikes with just a normal biker's legs and have the gun kind of come around and see if it works. But yeah, if it's fine cast, I don't really like fine cast. Fingers crossed it's plastic, which will be easier, I think, for me. So that's how I see a big mech. Shock attack gun for fun. Don't see the point of it in mega armor really, unless you want that custom force field on them, giving them an extra save. So yeah, big mech, shock attack gun, war bike, quite expensive with all those upgrades. However, it's Orks. You're saving points on your troops choices and stuff like that. Next is the last in the entry of my list HQs that I'm going to take. And it's a Painboy, and I'm going to take 2 of them. They're 50 points each. They come with weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 2, strength, toughness 4, 2 wounds, initiative 3, 3 attacks, leadership 7, and a 6-up save. It has an Urti syringe, which I think gives it poison. Doc's tools. A Painboy may take items from the Orky Nobots Runts and Squeak list. It has Here We Go, Furious Charge, Independent Character, and Mob Rule. I think Doc's tools gives him and the unit feel no pain. I'll just confirm that for you. It's on page 98. As long as the bearer is alive, all models in his unit has feel no pain special rule. So what am I going to do? The first one, as I've said, is going to be in the foot slogging element of the army with the Warboss and with the 30-man squad of boys, giving them a 5-up feel no pain just for that extra protection, as they are at the back of the field, aiming to be that objective holder, the objective stealer, the cover for my looters, which I'm going to have, and my counter-attack to drop pods and stuff like that. I'm also going to have a Painboy on a bike with the knobs and the other Warboss. Again, to give the protection to the Warboss and those units, those crucial units that have a specific purpose in mind. One to take objectives and counter, and the other one to go ahead, steal objectives, or destroy units completely. Painboys are good. The next one is Mad Doc Grotsnik. 160 points, is weapon skill 5, ballistic skill 2, strength 4, toughness 5, 3 wounds, initiative 3, 4 attacks, leadership 9, and a 4-up save. Has a slugger, power claw standard, Doc's tools, Urti syringe, and cyborg body. Now it has brutal but cunning for a warlord trait. Here We Go, Furious Charge, independent character, mob rule. 1 scalpel short of a med pack. Doc Grotsnik and any unit he joins has the Fearless and Rampage special rules. Once Doc Grotsnik has joined a unit, he may not leave it unless he is the last remaining member of that unit. Now he is obviously a Painboy, but comes with a power claw, has toughness 5, 3 wounds, and a 4-up save as standard, which is superb. Being leadership 9 is also a great thing as well. And giving a unit Fearless and Rampage is also brilliant, which would suggest you would put him in a unit for close combat. What's good for close combat? Well, Ork boys are, but I would see him more in a unit of knobs, maybe even supporting a unit of mega knobs, in a truck going up the field ready to assault and take down your opponent. So 160 points is a huge upgrade, but you get a power claw with that and gives them fearless and rampage. So again, give them a close combat unit. Knobs or mega knobs is how I would say. Okay, 2 left in the HQ entry. Captain Badrukk, 110 points. He looks like a pirate. Weapon skill 5, ballistic skill 2, strength toughness 4, 2 wounds, initiative 3, 4 attacks, leadership 9, 3 up save. He has a slugger, chopper, stick bomb, boss pull, git finder. He has cunning but brutal warlord trait. Here we go, special rule, furious charge, independent character, mob rule. And he may take up to 3 ammo runs for 3 points. He has a gold tooth armor, which gives him a 3 up armor save and a 5 up invuln, which is brilliant for an orc. And he has Daribba. This gun is a range 24, strength 7, AP 2, assault 3, gets hot. Being a ballistic skill 2 is probably not going to ever do a lot. So he is essentially the head of the Bad Moon, is it? The Bad Moons, I think, or is it? No, he's the head of the, I think, the Freebooters or Bad Moons. Basically, he's a pirate that likes to get gold, which is hilarious and really quite cool, really. It would be great in an army which had lots of flash gits, who also are kind of piratey and stuff like that. Flash gits have some brilliant weapons in them, and Captain Badrukk would just be kind of cool, leading an orc army with a load of flash gits supporting him. I would use him like a Warboss. Getting him into close combat would be... He doesn't have any special close combat weapons, but with a 3 up armor save and a 5 up invuln save, he's got the defense. 4 attacks, skill 5 is okay. For 110 points though, I could get a Warboss on a bike and stuff like that, so I would look elsewhere for a competitive. But if you wanted a fluffy character, even going as far as a small 500 point army, him and some flash kits, brilliant. Even, which is brilliant about orcs, you could get him and some flash kits, get a few trucks and some model pirate kits, stick them all together, have it as a battle wagon, and going along on a pirate ship. Orcs are brilliant. You can convert and have fun as much as you want. Last one I'm going to talk about is the boss Zagstruk. He is 65 points. He is a weapon skill 5, ballistic skill 2, strength 5, toughness 4, 2 wounds, initiative 3, 4 attacks, leadership 8, 4 up save. Slugger, chopper, heavy armor, stick bomb, cyborg body, rocket pack. He has bellowing tyrant, warlord trait. Here we go, furious charge, independent character, and mob rule. He has Da Vulture's Claws, which is a hammer of wrath attacks made by boss Zagstruk, are strength 8, AP 2. He is designed to go with Storm Boys and just attack. Just kill things. So if you want an army with a few units of Storm Boys, go big. Use the full amount of Storm Boys. I'm probably going to get some Storm Boys just to be a unit to kind of annoy my opponent. You know when you have like a fly in the room and you see it and it comes close to you and you get annoyed and you swat it away, that's what they're going to be. They're not going to do a lot. They may take an objective in the game, they may not, but your opponent will have to shoot at them. But if you want a more competitive list, get boss Zagstruk. He's 65 points. Consider him as an upgrade for the unit and just have him go along. He's gonna hurt on the charge, let's just say that. And he looks kind of cool on there as well with his metal feet and rocket pack. So yeah, that's the HQ sections. Given my opinion on all of them, the build and tactics I would use with them. So I would get a big mech on a war bike. I get a Warboss on a war bike with a power claw. I'd get a Warboss with a power claw and a unit of boys with Painboy. I get another Painboy on a war bike with a unit of the Warboss and the knobs and the stuff. And I think that's everything. And those are the HQ choices I would consider. So thank you very much for watching this kind of Ork HQ review / Tactica, and how they are in 7th edition. So stay tuned. This series is going to be spaced out. I'll probably do a couple of vlogs. It'll be a 2-minute vlog updating on my army, or it could be a 30-minute talk about the elite section or what I've done so far painting tutorial. Thanks very much for watching. Please comment, share, like and subscribe. Please comment in the comment section below if you're enjoying the fact that there's going to be an Ork Army, and let me know what are some good HQ sections, and if there's any builds I haven't suggested, what I should do with the Orks HQ section. Now remember, I'm going unbound because I want all those HQs, but let me know what a bound or formation or what kind of build essentially would be great with the Orks. I've been Mark from the Xenoviz channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye.